Hi everybody. I hope that you are all well rested after spring break. I know a lot of you didn't get to take a break at all, or you didn't allow yourself to take a break, and I kind of feel like I should have not taken a break either, but I did manage to get to go do some hiking, and I got to just kind of hang out with my family, which my original family, my mom, my dad, and one of my brothers, and that was nice just to kind of get away and do that while my husband and children had no spring break last week, so they had to stay here working and going to school. But I got to do some hiking and just disconnect from the computer for a while, and that was really great. But we're back now, and we've got 1 week left in Module 5, and then the last module of the semester, Module 6, which I need to open immediately. I'm going to try to open that. I'm going to open that this week. It's going to be a 3-week module, and then that's it for the course. So the course is almost finished, and just stay in communication, particularly if you've gotten behind in some areas. You need to contact me. Don't wait until the last minute. Let's get a dialogue started. What I want to do in this video with the remaining part of it is for people that have had trouble starting with the Assistive Technology Project. I wanted to talk through what you're going to do. It was requested of me of one student. One student asked me to do that, and so I'm just going to go ahead and do that here at the end of this video here. So if you already get the Assistive Tech project, just shut down this video now if you want. Okay, so through the Assistive Technology project, you're gonna do two main things. So there's a sort of a part 1 and there's a part 2. In part 1, you're gonna go to a wiki that I've created. It's just a website, and I've created kind of it's kind of like a Webquest. I don't really like the word Webquest, but it's kind of a Webquest. And I have a sheet, an electronic Word document that has 20 kind of questions, things for you to do as you work through the various steps of the Webquest. I'm going to go ahead and open this. I'm looking on the assignment page that's called Assignment Assistive Technology Project. And I'm going to look at this Webquest real quick. So you've got several steps, sort of process steps. You want to go to the intro and task page first, just to kind of understand the orientation of this assignment and where it's coming from. And then you want to go through sort of the pages P1, P2, P3, P4, P5, P6, and P7. And so you're gonna meet some people with disabilities. You're gonna get to hear them talk about what it's like to you know, function with and without how technology helps them to function in ways that a lot of us take for granted. You're going to learn a few key terms related to special education technology. You might already know them. So the purpose of that sheet, the Microsoft document, the Word document, is for you to just kind of quickly jot down some thoughts and kind of sort of minimally engage. I mean, I don't mean to say it should be minimal. It shouldn't be minimal, but I'm just saying it's not meant to be your life's work, but I want to see evidence that you've interacted with this content and that you're thinking about it, and you're kind of relating it back to yourself, and you're trying to think about certain profiles of students and how technology would help them, you know, learn better in your classroom. So you'll learn a little bit about the assistive technologies that come bundled on operating systems. So like a PC computer, it has a number of assistive technology features, such as voice to text functionality or text to speech. So like you could make your computer read a page of text to you. If you can't read it, if you can't see it, you can turn on that feature. So that's part of what you're going to learn about, is what is on your operating system. What are things that you already have that you don't have to pay for? Another thing that you'll learn about through this Webquest is you'll see some resources in the state of Georgia, like on the Georgia Department of Education website, related to special education and particularly to technology, and you'll learn a little bit about the legislation that relates to it. And so that's really kind of if you're talking about Bloom's taxonomy, where at the bottom you're learning about content and your knowledge and comprehending things, but at the upper level you're doing things that are more critical. This piece of the assignment is somewhere in the lower, 2 to 3 levels. The next piece is not much higher, because this assignment is not so much about you critically analyzing things. Maybe I could make it that way, but in the second part, so part 2 of the assignment, you're going to make a glog And I would argue that this does go a little higher in bloom simply because you're creating something and you do get to have some creative license. So what you're going to do is create a presentation where you just have to do some things. You're going to define assistive technology. You're going to locate an example of assistive technology being used in a classroom. So that's going to require that you use a little bit of research skills to go find that video. You'll probably want to watch the video before you select it. So I'm hoping that you'll, learn something more. So you're going to go out on a little hunt of your own. You're going to provide a link to a website where assistive technologies can be purchased. So again, this is part of researching. Like if you're a teacher in a classroom or maybe you're a special education teacher, or you're an English teacher on a team, and the team has decided that the English students in a given school need a certain assistive technology. Well, somebody on your team, it might be you, might have to go and do some research. So that's part of what is going on here. We're trying to, learn how do we locate these resources. So you're going to go hunt for a website where you can purchase assistive technologies, and there are a lot of them. If you have trouble, I've got some catalogs, and I can give you a tip for where you might find such a website. But I want you to try first. I want you to provide an image of an assistive technology. It could be something that you ran across in the Webquest that you did, or you could go find something new. Maybe something that relates to what you might want to use in your classroom. I want you to provide a link to the Georgia Department of Education's page on assistive technology. And I guess let me back up, make sure I said how I want you to do this. I want you to, in this presentation, you're going to do it as a glog, which is a type of technology tool that a lot of you are familiar with. A glog is basically an electronic or virtual poster. You create them inside of a web-based tool called glogster.com, and I had to make a glog about a month ago, and they're not my favorite, but I think that it's a good tool. I think it's useful in K-12 classrooms. I think it's intuitive. It might be more fun than maybe writing a paper. And sometimes you want to present things visually, and so that's what we're doing here. We're presenting things visually in a sort of easy to peruse kind of way. If you want to do a Prezi instead, that's another tool you could use. You can make a Prezi. If there's some other presentation tool out there that you've never used and you want to try, you could use that. Just run it by me first, please. All right, so what else do you have to put on your glog or your presentation? I want you to provide a link to an additional assistive technology resource. Go find something else, think outside the box. Add something interesting to your search term. Maybe you want to search by a particular disability, or maybe you want to search by a content area like assistive technologies for the math classroom or something. I want you to provide a list of references where those items that I just mentioned above came from, including the name of the source. Although you do not have to use APA, I'm not going to go into that. I just want you to kind of cite those sources and be honest about where they came from. I want you to title your glog, and when I put that in there, I don't mean, because when you start a glog, when you create a glog in Glogster, it asks you, what's this glog called? What I mean by title for your glog is I want you to put the title on the glog itself. So create an image and type in a name. I don't count off if you don't do that, because I know it's confusing. Glogster itself, each glog has a title, again, and then on the glog, the visual piece of it, the artistic piece, you can add that title. And that's what I mean. I want you to add a visual title, but not a big deal. I just want to clarify that for people that are confused about it. That's my preference. Let me put it that way. The glog should be visually appealing and give a visitor a good overview of assistive technology in 10 to 20 minutes of exploration. So that's basically what you're going to do. You're going to learn about assistive technology through the Webquest I've created. You're going to answer some questions on a Word document. That Word document will go up to your assistive technology wiki page. That's the first thing you do. The second thing you do is you take some of what you learned from that Webquest. In fact, a lot of what you learned can go into your glog. But you also do some additional searching, and you find some resources, and you present these things on your glog in a visually appealing way. Then you need to post that glog onto your assistive technology wiki page as well. You can do it as a link, a hyperlink straight to the glog page. You can do it as an embed job, where you get the embed code associated with your blog. It's a little bit tricky to find sometimes, but you can actually embed it on your assistive technology wiki page. I think what I ask you to do is that you, let's see if to embed it. Yeah. I ask you to create a new page to embed your blog on. A lot of people don't do that. They just embed it straight on their assistive technology wiki page, and that's fine too. I can figure that out. I can work with that. Just another thing, if for those of you that are still watching this video, sometimes when I go to grade the blogs, I go to your wiki page and it won't show up. And I'm aware of this problem. Sometimes it just takes an extra 10 seconds for it to show up, or Internet Explorer is not as good at displaying them through a wiki page for some reason. And I'm aware of this. But even so, sometimes I make a mistake and I really think there's nothing posted on the wiki when there really is. And I made that mistake, so don't panic if I go to grade your blog and you get 0 points because there's no blog there, but you know that there is one. Just talk to me and we'll figure it out, and I will go revisit it and make sure I can see the thing. And we'll figure that out. All right, I will close it down for now. I've talked plenty, I think. Let me know if you have any more questions about the Assistive Technology Project or anything else that I've talked about here, or anything I haven't. All right, thanks.